So, welcome everyone. Um, I just wanted to start something that talks about some very important things in life. There's usually four things that people care about most, and that comes down to faith. Faith is number one. I'm not going to talk about faith. That's something that you figure out on your own. Um, you know, Most importantly, have faith in yourself. But, whatever you believe in, make sure you have something and it's going to keep you up in life. Second thing that people find important in life is family. It's pretty self-explanatory. Family is obviously something that comes first. It doesn't have to be blood. Um, Obviously, there's other people that you consider family that are really close to you and something that you want. So family is definitely something that's important. Make sure that you take care of your family and your family takes care of you. So family is the second most important thing. And then the rest of that comes down to the other things that people care about, which is money. Obviously, we need money to do things. Money is very important to people. People care a lot about money. So, finance is big and something that you should care about, something that you need to care about, something that you need to pay attention to in your life. So make sure that, you are aware of what's going on with your finances and everything. And then the fourth most important thing that people care about is health. Your health is very important. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure that you are worrying about your health, and obviously health is very important. It's obviously what keeps you alive. You have to take care of yourself, both mentally and physically. I'm not going to say that it's just physical health. Mental health is very important. Coming from myself, I know that for a fact. Make sure you are taking care of yourself physically and mentally. So, breaking it down, four most important things in life. You have faith, you have family, you have money or finances, and you have health, which, if we want to use 4Fs, we can do faith, family, finance, and fitness. So those are the important things. I'm not going to talk about faith. Like I said, faith is something you decide on yourself. Make sure you have faith in yourself. That's all I'll say on that. But whatever you believe in it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I'm not going to talk about family because that's self-explanatory. So family is just who you care about, and make sure that you are caring about your family and make sure they're caring about you. And like I said, family doesn't have to be blood related. What I will talk about is finances and fitness. So both are very important in my life. So I went to school for finance, economics, and accounting. So obviously finance is something that I really love. Finance is definitely important. So that I will talk about, and also fitness or your health. I'll talk about that because one, I'm very into fitness. I love to work out. I love to make sure I take care of myself, eating healthy, whatever it is physically. And then I've also been through a lot in my life. A lot of things have happened and dealt with a lot mentally. So I know how important mental health is. And I want to be, an advocate for mental health as well as physical health because those are both important. So I'm going to create this, just going to talk about finance and fitness. Two important things in life, two things that you can't go through life without ignoring. You can't go through life without ignoring your finance. You can't go through life without ignoring, if you're ignoring your finances and you're ignoring your health, I don't know how you're living. It's pretty important in life, so we'll talk about it. We'll make sure, give you the tools to help you succeed. So to start off with finances, obviously, the basics you probably should have down, making sure that you have enough to live off of. That's very important. It's obviously, something that you can create a budget for. Make sure you're sticking to that budget. You're not impulse buying things that you don't need. Make sure that you are staying regimen on that. But when it comes down to it, it's more about saving for your future, and how can you do that? So how can you make sure that you're providing for your future self? Because, obviously you want to live in the present, and you want to make sure that you're doing everything right now, making sure you're getting by. Times do become tough, making sure you do have an emergency fund, obviously. Have 6 months that you can cover if something were to happen. Worst case scenario, you have time to figure things out. But how do you save for long term? What can you do there? A lot of people do not understand finance. It's a big problem, honestly, in the United States, probably across the globe. Not sure. I mean, just speaking from the United States, it's a huge problem, where people don't really know what to do with finance. They aren't sure about finance. Finance is complicated, but it's also something that everyone can learn and everyone should learn. Like I said, it's one of the most important things in life. One of the things that you are going to care about most. So I'm not sure why people don't care about it. A lot of people will just say, oh, there's other people that can deal with my finances. But when it comes down to it, can you always trust the other people? And that's a huge problem in the industry. I work in the industry. I understand why there are trust issues. So what you need to do is you need to learn the things yourself. You need to take the responsibility. It is your life. When it comes down to it, you can't trust on everyone to do things for you. You have to be able to do things yourself, because you can trust people, but in the end, the only person that you're going to trust 100% of the time is yourself. So what can you do about that? I mean, finance is very complicated, like I said, and we all need to learn finance, at least the basics. So when you want to save, you want to invest, and investing is very complicated. It's not something that you can just jump into and do without researching, spending a lot of time doing. So how do you find the time to do so? Well, you have to take it gradually. You can't just jump in and say, I'm going guns blazing for it. It's not possible. It's going to take a long time. Ultimately, if you're sitting there and you're paying someone else to manage your money and everything, that's fine. They might be doing well for you. They might not. They might not have your best interest. They might. I don't know. That's something that you have to decide. But you should be aware of it, and you should question it at all times. You should make sure that you are being cognizant of what's going on with your finances, and you're not getting put into things that are not best for you. So you need to figure out what risk you want, what risk you're willing to take, all of that, because yes, it's nice to in the current market state where we're at the peak of all-time highs here in the U.S. market. It's great to take on that additional risk and receive that extra benefit, and you're making money. But the moment that it turns sour, that extra risk, you're now losing more than other people. And are you willing to give up that downside in order to have that upside? That's really important, and it's something that you should think about. So I just want to create some videos, help to just talk about things that you can do in finance to help better yourself. Make sure you are educating yourself on this so that you can do the best for yourself and set yourself up best in the future. One, finance is going to go down to both your family. You need money in order to take care of your family and your health. Obviously, you need money in order to take care of yourself. So finance is important. Make sure you are taking care of it. Make sure you are doing your due diligence, and not just handing it off to someone else to deal with, because like I said, the only person you can trust 100% of the time is yourself. So where do you begin in finance? And that's a tough question. I don't really know where you can begin. You kind of just have to figure out on your own what you want to do to get into it. So my recommendation is, obviously, if your employer allows to set aside money for a retirement account, whether it be a 401k, a 403b, a 401a, whatever it is, make sure you are setting aside funds in order to save for retirement. That's going to be passive investing, more than likely, unless they allow some type that you can do yourself, which that would be great. As you get more experience, you can do that yourself. But passive investing, that's totally fine. If you don't know anything, passive investing is fine. And, in that case, you have to make sure that passive investing, you're not getting emotionally attached to. Behavioral finance is a big thing. It's definitely something new in the industry that is very looked at, as far as what can we do about behavioral finance. It definitely moves things towards the downside more than it does to the upside. So behavioral finance is going to come down to how you react to certain things and how that ends up reacting. Is it overreaction? Is it underreaction? How can that be capitalized on? So a lot of people, when it comes down to it, they hear some news and they overreact, and it drops, and then they ended up losing money because it already dropped a little bit, and then they sold, and then it drops further, and then it starts going back up, and then they buy in again, and they're ending up selling after the peak and buying after the trough and losing money, and as if you were to just hold it continuously, you're not going to run into those problems, and you will be able to go ahead and take the full range. So you're paying too much attention to what's going on, and you don't know how to properly invest, you're going to end up hurting yourself. So start out passively investing. You can check it, but don't get emotionally attached to it, which is very difficult. It is your money. You are going to be sentimental to it no matter what. You have to somehow figure out how to not become attached. And I'm not going to say it's easy, because it's a lot easier said than done. It's definitely a difficult thing, and until you're actually the one risking it, you're not going to learn. So sometimes you might have to lose in order to learn, and failure's the best tool of learning. Just because you failed doesn't mean you can't get up and do it again and do it better. Because you learned, you know what to do next time. You're gonna do better. Now, as you continue to get educated on the topic, you can continue to set aside funds in order to invest yourself and grow that pool of funds in order to set yourself up best. Whether it be in equities, whether it be in bonds, whether it be in currencies, whatever, currencies, real estate, private equity, anything. If you can invest in something and you do your due diligence of researching it and making sure that you're staying on top of it, you're going to set yourself up best. I personally like to invest in derivatives, so options, futures options. They are a lot more, I would say, risky. They're not really risky if you play your cards correctly, because when it comes down to it, it doesn't really matter what is going on with that company or or what it is, the commodity, what it comes down to is you are trying to play the probabilities. And you can invest in probabilities, which, if you think about it, do you want to invest in a company where it's 50-50 every single day? You don't know if it's going to go up. You don't know if it's going to go down. Market is 50-50. It can go up. It can go down. There's nothing that's going to indicate that, 100% sure it's going up. Today is Sunday. I could not tell you. No one can tell you if tomorrow the market will be up or the market will be down. No one can tell you that. If someone tells you that, turn around and run, because no one can say that with 100% certainty. Nobody knows. It's the future. Nobody knows anything. The only thing we do know is we can use mathematical statistics in order to determine what a size of a move is going to be and the velocity of that move. So we can tell how big a move is going to be. We can tell, how quickly that move is going to happen and over what time period, a good estimate of that. But we can't tell which direction it's going. I can't tell you if it's going up. I can't tell you if it's going down that much. No one can tell you that because we can't predict the direction. We can have our assumptions. We can do it based off of fundamental factors. There's also technical analysis. All of those things can be used to determine it. But what it comes down to is I'm going to play the probabilities that it will be somewhere within this move. So somewhere within this move, that underlying asset is going to be. So that sounds great, right? I can play the probabilities. Let's say it's 60% chance that it's going to be within there. Instead of me putting my money in a company and I have 50-50, 50% chance it goes up, 50% chance it goes down. Great, 50% chance. That's a coin flip. I don't know. I can't tell you if I'm going to make money or not. Now with options, I now have 60% chance that it's going to be within this range. 60% chance there versus 40%. I have a 60% chance of winning and a 40% chance of losing versus just strictly investing and having a 50% chance either way. So I've already increased my chances. Great. I have now taken control of my finances. I gave myself a better opportunity to make money. Sounds wonderful. So how can we learn that? You have to do it yourself. And that's what I want to get into with this and how to help you get there. So I'm gonna try and do some things to talk about how you can really master your finances and get to the point that you want to be at. So that's one of the tools that I want to talk about, and I'll also talk about many more things. I don't really have too much planned as of right now, but I'm going to continue to plan, and I want to make sure that these are educational and help people with their finances. And then the other aspect that I talked about was your health, mental and physical health. So like I said, I'm very passionate about physical health, working out all the time. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and I found that, one, it's great for my physical health. I am probably the healthiest I have ever been, and hopefully I continue to get healthier physically. And two, it also helped with my mental health. Working out is a great stress reliever and allows me to escape from some things. And as I mentioned, I did go through a lot of things, so I understand how important mental health is, and that's something that I also want to talk on. So, first off, I'll talk about different things to motivate yourself, to become healthier, things that can help you with workout regimens, things that can help you with your diet plans. There's a lot of things out there on the internet right now. A lot of things are just clickbait. So a lot of it's going to be, hey, you should try this no carb, low carb, whatever it is, diet. Great, that's not going to do anything for you. What it comes down to is you need to be sure you're taking care of yourself, of what you put in your body. I don't care if you put a lot of carbs in or if you don't put any carbs in. That's not going to matter at the end of the day. It's what you put in your body. That's what's going to end up happening. You need to make sure you're watching how you are taking care of your muscles and your heart. Making sure you're getting physical activity. So it's very important to get physical activity. Starting out, you don't want to go from doing zero activity at all and then just jump into things and be like, all right, I'm gonna do 5 days a week. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna continue it. They say it takes 21 days to build a habit. Screw that. You can't go from 0 days to 21 days straight. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna get burned out. You need to start gradually. Like I said with finances, you need to start gradually into it, and then as you continue to do it, you do it more, and you end up building a lifestyle out of it, which is very important because, yes, it's a lifestyle, but it's also your life, and you're going to be the one that is going to thank yourself in the end for taking care of yourself. And then I also want to talk about mental health throughout this, because mental health is very important. You need to take care of yourself. You can't put yourself in situations that become toxic to you. And, that includes everything. That includes your friendship. That includes where you're living. That includes relationships. That includes your job. Everything goes into that. And if you are not enjoying any aspect of that and it becomes toxic, it's going to end up hurting your mental health, and it will just slowly take you away. So make sure you take care of yourself. It's extremely important. It's something that you need to do. When it comes down to it, mental health is by far one of the most important things that gets overlooked by a lot of people. It has become a big problem, and a lot of people don't understand that it is a problem. They just think, well, you're sad because you make yourself sad. No. You're not making yourself sad. It's situations around you, and we're trying to do everything we can to make those situations good, but sometimes you can't make the situation good, and the only thing you can do is leave that situation. So mental health is very important, and you should make sure that you are taking care of yourself, and that's something that I want to talk about throughout this as well. So this is just a little introduction of what I want to talk about. Like I said, there's 4 important things in life: your faith, your family, which I'm not going to talk about because those are self-explanatory, your money or finances, and your health or fitness. So those are the 2 things that I'm going to focus on. I'm going to try to create a series, try to educate on everything and talk about everything. Follow along if you would like. Hopefully this will help at least one person, because if it helps one person, I'll feel great about myself. Feel free to let me know if there's anything you would like me to talk about throughout it, but I'm going to try to come with things to talk about, and overall, hopefully, like I said, this helps at least one person. So thank you very much, and I look forward to this.